All right, my kindergarten friends, welcome back. We get to finish our Nile crocodiles today. The first thing that we are going to do is grab our scissors. We need scissors today, we need a pencil to draw, we need a glue stick, and we need some crayons. So we're going to finish our entire crocodile. Today is going to be a big day for us. So we're going to start with our scissors, and we're just going to cut out the back of our head so that we can do the body of our crocodile. I'm going to cut just the back of its head. And I'm going to save this piece of paper because later we're going to cut some teeth out of it. Now, I'm going to line up this head with the front of a second piece of paper. Remember I said this lesson was going to take 2 pieces of paper. So we're going to line it up and glue it. Well, we're not going to glue it yet. We're going to line it up and then we're going to go ahead and draw. So I'm going to put a little mark right here where the head ends at the top and right here so that now when I take my head away, I know where the neck is going to be. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and add my crocodile body. Now remember, the Nile crocodiles are the biggest crocodiles in Africa and the second largest in the world. So we need to draw some pretty big bodies. We're going to draw a nice big body and then that tail. I'm going to go ahead and draw the back of the body here. I'm going to have it come in. And now we want to add some legs, and I'm going to just have mine come right off the page. And then I'm going to draw a belly. And notice how I'm only drawing one leg. I'm going to have this come up to a point for my tail. Now, I'm going to draw a second leg right in front of it. And I'm going to draw all of those spikes down its back. And I want to draw them nice and big because it's hard to cut little spikes out. Okay. I'm also going to fix this tail. This looks a little bit too fat, so I'm going to make it come up, and then I'll fix that later. Okay, now we're going to color this one in just like we did the other guy with our green crayon to match the head. I'm going to look for him. Well, here's my green crayon. Hopefully we grabbed the same color. It doesn't look like I did, but that's okay. We're going to color the whole thing in green, make him match. And remember, Nile crocodiles, they have that cool pattern on their back of green and black, or I'm sorry, green and brown, that camouflage. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my green first. I'm getting my legs in. And notice how I'm coloring in just one direction. I'm going up and down. That helps me make my coloring look neater, so it doesn't look like I'm scribbling. And there's that piece that I'm not going to use. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to come in here and get all of these little triangles, my spikes. Okay, now I'm going to grab that brown and I'm going to start mixing in some spots of brown. And this is how I'm going to get that camouflage look. And then they also had a yellow belly. So we're going to add a little bit of yellow down here for the belly. A little more brown up here, a couple more camouflage spots. Maybe one more back here. And then we're going to mix it with our crayon. I'm going to go right over it with that green, but kind of lightly. See how the green mixes with the yellow and the brown? So we still see the other color, but we get to see that green color too. So this is going to give us that camouflage look. And I'm still coloring in one direction so that my coloring looks nice and neat. I'm going just up and down. Now the nice thing about this is that we're going to cut it out, so we don't have to worry about coloring in the lines. We're going to cut it right out. Okay, so now you can add some more if you want. If you wanted to add a little more camouflage in, you could do that. Maybe I want to make my camouflage spots a little darker. Maybe I want to put some up on my spikes. Maybe I want to make that belly a little more yellow. You can go back and add a little more yellow in there. Okay, now we're going to cut both pieces of our crocodile out. When we're cutting, our scissors are facing away from our body. Our thumb is pointing up. So I have 2 fingers or 3 fingers in the bottom. My thumb is pointing up. My scissors point away from my body. My other hand is holding the paper and my hand is away from the scissors. It is not in front of the scissors ever. And we cut open and close. Notice that my scissor hand doesn't move, but the paper one does. When I'm turning, it's this paper hand that moves. And see how I don't have to cut everything perfectly. I just kind of hit the tips. I'm going to go right around these curves. This is where we get you. And I know that you're in kindergarten, so I know you can do this. We're going to do our best. Now we're going to come back and cut the inside of that mouth. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We want to make sure we keep our fingers out of the way. Cutting. And we'll pull this out. We're going to keep all these scraps of paper so that we can get our teeth. Okay, my head is cut out. Now I'm going to cut out my body. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Come in here and get these legs. See, my paper hand is over here, out of the way. My scissor hand doesn't move. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. For these spikes, we are going to go right across the tips. Now, we get to come in here and we'll cut in between. Now we're going to go like this. Snip, 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 snip. I'm always cutting from the outside in, and you can see how easy it is. Now my triangles aren't popping off on every one, but they're almost cut through, so that's okay. We can go back in and pop them off. So now any that are stuck, I'm just going to go through and pull straight out, and they'll pop right off. Okay. Now go ahead and glue. I used 2 different colors of green. That's okay. We're going to go in and we're going to glue the head on top. So take your glue stick or glue bottle and really give it a good amount of glue, because it's hard to glue on top of it. So I really like to give it a good line of glue. Then we will turn it over, stick it on our Nile crocodile body, and rub it for a minute or 2 to really get it stuck on. See how I overlapped them a little bit? So that it's stuck together. All right. Now my Nile crocodile needs some teeth. So we have lots of scrap paper here. You can, if you want, take these triangles from the spikes and just use those. They're ready to go. That works. So we could just take a little bit of glue on the top of this triangle, and then we will stick it underneath our crocodile and then press that. That works. Or you can grab one of our sheets like this, and we can do the same thing where we just turn our scissors and make these angled cuts. Now if it's easier for you, you can always go in and draw with a pencil. Our zigzag line, and that can help you figure out where to cut to. And we can cut. I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. I'm doing my angle cuts. And you'll decide how many teeth you want on Nile crocodile. Okay, so I've got a good amount of teeth here. I'm going to keep gluing them on. I'm going to take a tooth, get some glue, glue the top of it. So you can see I have the triangle and I have the glue on the wide part of the triangle, not the pointy part. And then I put it underneath, not on top, so that it looks like it's inside the mouth. Now if I glued my tooth on like this, that would look really weird, right? Because the tooth is on top of his mouth. So we want to make sure that we glue it underneath and upside down. Okay, I'm going to put another tooth in here. So you're just gluing it, and then you can lay it down on the table and line your mouth up with it and give it a good press with your crocodile. Now notice that I work on a piece of paper. That's so that, because I'm messy, so you may want to do that. You may want to grab some newspaper out of your recycling bin or some scrap paper. Even a cardboard box works. This is just an old piece of poster board that I use all the time, and it allows me to be messy with my glue, and I don't have to worry about my table. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, okay, except that this time my little tooth triangle is going to be pointing up, and I'm still going to glue the fat side of my triangle, lay it down, and then put my crocodile mouth on top of it. And this time, because we're showing two sides of his mouth, we can put a couple on the inside here on top, but we want to line it up with the mouth. So where I have it colored gray is the inside of his mouth, and the green is the outside. So I know that's a little tricky, but I know you can do it. So I'm going to take a little glue, stick inside the mouth, and then I'm going to glue these and put some more behind his mouth. All right, my friends, when you are done, looks like I need some more teeth. I'm going to just cut 2 more. You can always churn your paper too if you need more. When you are done, you are going to take a picture of it and turn it in to me either via Schoology. So there is a folder, or there's a link rather, under November 4th. It says turn in here. So you're going to take a picture of your artwork of your giant Nile crocodile with its camouflage background and its feet and its teeth, and then you're going to turn it in. Now if you want it to look a little bit more like crocodile feet, you can go in and do that same triangle technique and give it some pointy feet. That works too. Makes it look a little bit more like their swimming feet. But that option you don't have to do if you don't. I see the whole crocodile. I want to see it colored. I want to see some spikes, and I want to see some teeth. All right, my friends, have fun this week. If you have any questions, you can send me a video message in our little Schoology Messenger, or you can come in on Friday, and I will see you in our Friday live session. All right, my friends, have a great week. Okay, bye.